Hi, I'm Bernie Skoch, National Commissioner of the CyberPatriot Program. And while I would have very much enjoyed being with you in person in San Antonio for this great event, unfortunately, of course, circumstances dictate otherwise. But what a great day for you, what a great day for San Antonio, a city I love, and what a great day for the state of Texas. There's so much going on in the world of cybersecurity now. And I just feel so fortunate to be associated with CyberPatriot in general and with the city of San Antonio specifically. As National Commissioner, I'm not supposed to have favorites, but it's no secret that San Antonio does it right. Not only are you a city that has hosted a national champion, but you consistently have teams that place in the national finals competition, and you're doing great things. You were our second center of excellence, and that was not by accident. That was because of the great work of many of the heroes that are joining us today. There's so much good to be said about the CyberTexas Foundation. Joe Sanchez and Mark Gravely, Paul Wopel, Chris Cook, Vic Malloy, Justin Ryan, Monique LaPlante, Reed Eggleston. Those are all heroes of mine, because what's going on in the city of San Antonio is unlike anything that's going on in any other city in the nation. And it's important work. The International Information Systems Security Certification Consortium tracks what's going on in the world of cybersecurity, and in particular cybersecurity jobs that we're trying to recruit bright people like you to fill, because it's a national imperative and it's an international imperative among friendly nations. The number of unfilled jobs in the last year, according to ISC2, grew from 3 million to 4 million, with 561,000 of those jobs in North America alone. We need you. Our nation needs you. The world needs you to do good work that we hope you are stimulated to pursue by your participation in CyberPatriot in the city of San Antonio and elsewhere. The depth of the problem with cybersecurity is just incredible. The rate of cybercrime is equally incredible. McAfee reports that in 2020, cybercrime breached $1 trillion in net value. Think about that. The gross domestic product of the United States is about $14 or $15 trillion. Imagine that $1 trillion is represented in cybercrime alone. That is a scary thought, and we need good cyber defenders like you to pursue things. San Antonio is known for a lot of things. You're known for the Alamo. You're known for the wonderful Riverwalk that I so enjoy, with all the restaurants when times are normal. But you're also known to be an incubator for technology and for cybersecurity in particular. Our friends at the University of Texas at San Antonio, its Center for Infrastructure Assurance and Security, Dr. Greg White, Keith Harrison, Dwayne Williams, Natalie Shalene, and Larry Shalene. These are also heroes of mine, because we haven't done anything in cybersecurity in the form of CyberPatriot without the support of UTSA and CIAS in particular within UTSA. That doesn't come by accident. When we started cybersecurity as a program with CyberPatriot in 2010, really as a national program, we very candidly didn't know what to expect. We hoped that we would see some growth. We hoped that we would see some interest. We had no idea how explosive that growth would be. Now I'm happy to announce that we are the largest team-based cyber competition on the planet. And we've come that quickly since 2010 because we have great people like those in San Antonio that are doing this great work. These are different times, but it doesn't change the imperatives of teamwork and what we work with the universities in San Antonio, with the CyberTexas Foundation. Again, Joe Sanchez is a national figure because of the great work that's going on in Texas, and in particular in San Antonio. But if you think about its important implications in this world that we find ourselves in right now, it's even more profound to consider how important this is. AT&T, a great sponsor, by the way, of CyberPatriot, reported that immediately as the pandemic struck in 2020, cell traffic increased by 33%. Text traffic, mobile texting, increased by 40%, and conferencing rose by 5-fold virtually overnight. The implications of that were profound for AT&T, of course, because they needed to provide the infrastructure that could support that. But the cybersecurity implications of that explosive growth that came virtually instantaneously were even more significant. According to Cisco, in their benchmark privacy analysis, 60% of organizations report that they were not prepared for this significant shift and this significant growth in conferencing and in mobile applications. That points even more to why we need you. CyberPatriot is prospering. CyberPatriot is doing very well, and it's because of support like people like you and like the entire city of San Antonio. But it's also prospering because you have an assured position if you go through CyberPatriot that you will learn skills and you will do things unlike your peers and unlike your colleagues, and you will have an assured future in a high-demand career field. I'm sitting right now on my mountaintop in northwest Arkansas because, like most everyone else, I've been working from home. You can see a bank of monitors behind me. I could point you to my amateur radio station. I could take you out in my south pasture and point out my observatory, one of the largest in the state of Arkansas, where I do digital imaging of astronomical objects. I don't point out these things to boast that I'm some kind of alpha geek, but I do point them out to tell you that I am a geek, and I'm proud of being a geek, and I became a geek because of interested adults who wanted to encourage me to pursue engineering and science as a career. I've never regretted that decision, and I'm proud of the things that I've been able to do in a military career and in a career after that as well. That's important because science, technology, and engineering and mathematics are critical to the future of our nation and to our prosperity. You know, a lot of people will point out that the United States has the largest economy in the world, and that's a fair comment. But what they don't know sometimes is that it's one of the most effective and efficient economies in the world. The average American worker produces more goods and services than all but a handful of nations. So not only were we the biggest, but we're also one of the most efficient and productive. I would argue that that's because we have STEM people, because we are a STEM culture, because we adopt technology quicker and more effectively and more efficiently than many other nations do. But we've got a challenge. Right now we're about 30th in math among 15-year-olds according to the latest PISA assessment. We're about 35th in science among 15-year-olds. Well, those two facts can't coexist at the same time and in the same place. We can't remain effective and efficient if we don't have a STEM-based economy, and we're not doing well in STEM education. That's our motivation as the Air Force Association for running the CyberPatriot program. And I'd argue that that's the motivation for our generous sponsors, led by Northrop Grumman Foundation, for their providing the resources that allow us to run this program. But it doesn't mean anything unless we attract bright students like our participating in the San Antonio Cyber Day event today, and if we don't attract people who are willing to volunteer and give of their time to encourage this program along. So we recognize that while we are the proud bearers of the label of the runners of the program, CyberPatriot, we know very well that it doesn't work unless we have the fuel that's provided by generous sponsors like Northrop Grumman, and if we don't have volunteers like teachers, educators, coaches, mentors, and local sponsors like you have in your audience here today. So let me wrap this up. I don't want to drag this on, but I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. We don't know when this pandemic will end. We don't know how life will be when it returns, but I promise you that the challenges of cybersecurity and the demand for cybersecurity talent isn't going anywhere. Nothing's going to change what we're doing. Nothing's going to change what we're about in our motivation for running this program, and nothing's going to change about how important what you do is. So my thank you to all the sponsors that have made this day possible. My great appreciation to those who continue to coach and mentor. My great appreciation to Dr. Greg White and the entire Center for Infrastructure Assurance and Security team. And my great thanks to Joe Sanchez and the CyberTexas Foundation for what you're doing to make San Antonio a better city and to make our nation a better and safer place. Best of luck to all of you. I look very much forward to seeing San Antonio represented, and maybe you'll bring home another national finals championship when we gather here in a couple weeks for the national finals competition. I won't say that I'll be rooting for you, but I will be rooting for everyone to do very well. Thank you very much.